On the eve of General Elections Day in Angola, the reflection period imposed by law has put an end to campaign activities and rallies by the political parties. In the streets of the capital, Luanda, all seem set for the polls. For those who are at work on this Tuesday of reflection, the wish is only one: that tomorrow, the feast day of democracy, we vote with peace, with tranquility, and so that we can actually elect our representatives of the country, and we can actually gauge and closely monitor this process. And may it all go well. Hope is the dominant note of those preparing to vote Wednesday. I hope that I can see improvement in certain aspects, improvements in many things in this country. Despite the 8 general election contenders and the media respecting the reflection period, much information remains available on the internet. Well, I believe some information and some I don't. There is false information too. With more than 13,000 polling stations registered for election day, many of the 14 million potential voters already know where their polling place is. The assembly, I know, it will be at the Engineering University here in Mayanga. Now the polling station, I don't know yet. Schools are the preferred location chosen to serve as the polling station, but other public places such as daycare centers or churches will also serve for voters to cast their ballot on August 24.
João Peseiro Monteiro, Euronews, Luanda.
Confidence is the key word in Angola's general elections slated for Wednesday the 24th. The presence of observers is of fundamental importance for the acceptance of the election results. 2,000 national and international observers have been accredited to follow the election process. Among the foreign delegations is a 29-member mission from the Community of Portuguese-Speaking Countries, CPLP, headed by the former President of the Republic of Cape Verde, Jorge Carlos Fonseca.
A CPLP faz o seu trabalho, que é com esse número.
The CPLP does its job, that is, with the number of observers that they have, taking into account the size of the country, the relative importance of the provinces, the constituencies. We will focus on the province of Luanda, Bengo, Kwanza North and Kwanza South. Taking into account that Luanda, for example, has close to 4 million voters, a third of the voters with samples from Bengo, Kwanza North and Kwanza South, I believe, can give a relatively positive, objective view of what happens in the electoral process. The European Union has 2 experts on ground for a longer mission than that of the CPLP as they follow the process up to the possible challenge actions in the courts. The report is never made public. There are also national observers. In relation to other elections, Luis Jimbo from the Angolan Electoral Observatory explains that they have less support, but the accreditation was faster and that they had more time for training. At the same time, several citizens are organizing themselves to verify if the results announced in Luanda correspond to the notices posted in each polling station. The citizens have lost confidence in the organs of the CNE, the National Electoral Commission, and they are using any means to gain confidence in the electoral results because there is a very low level of trust in the institutions. The citizens, and especially the youth, who are about 50% of our voters, are creating this environment and this effort to believe in the process with something more than the official results. Besides the CPLP and European experts, the African Union, the Southern African Development Community, and the Jimmy Carter Center are some of the bodies that are in Angola to observe the electoral process.
João Peseiro Monteiro, Euronews, Luanda.
A slight postponement of the work of the inclusive national dialogue in Chad between the civilian, armed opposition and the ruling junta. Government spokesman Abdurrahman Kumaila on Tuesday said the dialogue had been postponed for organizational reasons and will now take place on Wednesday, August 24. The head of the junta, Mahama Idris Deby, kicked off the dialogue Saturday in N'Djamena, which has been boycotted by some armed groups and members of civil society, and which should lead to free and democratic elections and the transfer of power to civilians. Some 1,400 delegates from trade unions, political parties and the ruling junta will meet for 21 days to discuss institutional reform and a new constitution, which will then be put to a referendum. Work in the commissions, whose themes include social issues, peace and national reconciliation and fundamental freedoms, is scheduled to begin on August 30. The United Nations Peacekeeping Force in the Democratic Republic of Congo, MONUSCO, is evaluating its base in the eastern town of Butembo, pulling out some of its troops. Local civil society actors have welcomed the move, which the populations in the area have long demanded. It is a feeling of satisfaction, and here we congratulate the whole population who mobilized as one to demand the unconditional withdrawal. We would like them, MONUSCO, to withdraw from Benin territory as well as from Lubero territory. And why not from North Kivu in general, as we have indicated in the 4 civil society coordinations of the North. Anger has been fueled by perceptions that MONUSCO is failing to do enough to stop decades of armed conflict. More than 120 militias operate in the DRC's troubled east. MONUSCO bases in the region were attacked last month by protesters. The Benin National Museum will soon be welcoming home heritage that has been out of the country since the 19th century. They will join other items that have already been repatriated, including the Okufo, returned to Nigeria by Jesus College, Cambridge in October 2021. Bronze casters and craftsmen here in the city of Benin are excited about this.
We reached this job from our forefathers. I've been in this job for over 50-something years. This work we do, there's no agreement for it. More we dey stay with our father and our brother. That is how we know it.
The general term Benin bronzes is sometimes applied to items made from ivory, coral, wood and other materials, as well as metal sculptures. The British Museum alone holds more than 900 objects from Benin, the capital of the Kingdom of Benin. Others were distributed to museums around the world.
I'm excited as they are bringing them. And then when they bring them, we see them too. We can equally do some replica too that people will like too.
Countries are increasingly demanding the return of artifacts amid a global reassessment of colonialism and exploitation of local populations.